Hey everybody, I have a video here for you today, and I think this is an important one. Part of my channel's purpose is to document as many ancient sites from around the world as I can, and especially ones that people have not heard about and are very ancient. And those of you who have your eyes on ancient history, I'm sure are familiar with Göbekli Tepe, a site that is proven to be 12,000 years old, that really rewrote the history books, located in southern Turkey. But what a lot of people are not familiar with is the sister site, they call it, of Göbekli Tepe, and that is called Karahan Tepe. And this was really difficult to find. But let me just back up. But this is the hill that is called Karahan Tepe. And Andrew Collins and Hugh Newman have made a journey here, and Hancock visited here. And he wrote just a couple pages in his Magicians of the Gods book. But just to give you an idea of where this is located, it's out in the middle of nowhere in a very desolate area. But if I back up here, this is ancient Edessa, Turkey, present-day Sanliurfa. Right up here is Göbekli Tepe, and this is located, Karahan Tepe is located about 23 miles south and east of Göbekli Tepe, about 40 miles from Sanliurfa. But this is not marked at all. There is no pictures out here. And just reading a little bit from Graham Hancock's book and Andrew Collins' website, which I'm going to show you here in a second, I found that this is the hill. And what makes this so special is this is just as old as Göbekli Tepe. And if I go over to a few websites here, this is Andrew Collins' website here. And you see these T-shaped pillars, just the tops of them that people are familiar with the Göbekli Tepe. They are sticking out of the ground here. And I will leave a couple links below in case you want to read. And here is just the general location of Karahan Tepe. And this is how I knew I found it, just by a picture here on his website. And here is the top of a T-shaped pillar. And it's just kind of strange. I guess 10 years ago, this was pretty much a restricted access area, and now a farmer who owns this land is letting access to this hill. And some of these T-shaped pillars form circles, and I guess some of these T-shaped pillars on the north side of the hill form an avenue in the shape of a serpent going up the side of the hill, which I find very interesting. And just as at Göbekli Tepe, we have these potholes, circular potholes that are formed in the hill, and I will leave that link below, this link for Andrew Collins' website. And over here on Ancient Origins, it has a story and some links to some videos, but this is Karahan Tepe, and here you see those T-shaped pillars sticking out of the ground, and such importance is put on Göbekli Tepe, and really no work, official work really has been done here at Karahan Tepe, just a few brief studies, but I'm sure this hill could tell us a lot about ancient history, especially a period which we know nothing about, coming from about 10 or 12,000 years ago. So this is the hill of Karahan Tepe, just sitting out here in the middle of nowhere, undocumented, with T-shaped pillars buried, some in circular formations. Obviously just as important as Göbekli Tepe, but no archaeological work being done, and this is out in the middle of nowhere, undocumented. But I just want to show you one other thing when looking in this area, and I found a lot of hills that had circular ruins, and there could be many other tepes, as they are called, that have those T-shaped pillars and circles buried. But let me just show you what I found down here. And I don't even know what I found and who made these, because they are totally undocumented. But somebody a long time ago, these are obviously ancient ruins, but somebody carved right into the cliff walls here and built ancient structures that were built right into the cliff walls. You can see by the angles here and the ruins out here. Somebody made these a long time ago, and they are totally undocumented. Here you can see more ruins out here, and I have no idea which culture did this. It reminds me a little bit of the rock carvings into the cliff walls at Petra, but let me just show you up on top of here up on top of this hill. Obviously, there was something up here. You can see some, make out some rooms here and here. But right here, I have seen stuff like this on Google Earth before, and what these little potholes are, this is where somebody was excavating. You can see the holes here, 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 little ones here. Obviously, somebody was digging for some treasures up here, and I find this very interesting. This rectangular black thing here is obviously the entrance underground, and maybe there was a tomb up here, an ancient tomb, and it points right to this area where the people were digging. So something obviously was very important up here, and this site is spread out amongst other cliff walls in this very specific area. You can see more ruins over here, and it just blows me away. There is nothing out here that tells me anything about these. And just to the northwest, there are some more ruins into these hills here. Maybe these were the early Christians. This is only 40 miles from ancient Edessa, where Christians were first called Christians. And it reminds me a little bit of the cliff dwellings around some ancient churches on the hills around Edessa. But here, somebody was building something pretty impressive, and this is 2 football fields long. So that's some pretty impressive work being done into the side of these cliffs. But if anybody has any idea what culture could have been responsible for these ruins, leave it in the comments section, and I will leave a location below. But I just thought that was pretty fascinating. But I just want to read a little bit from Graham Hancock's Magicians of the Gods here on the ruins at Karahan Tepe. Now, this is that Ancient Origins article on Karahan Tepe, and here's a link to Hugh Newman and Andrew Collins' video where they check out the stonework that is protruding from this hillside, and it's a fascinating video, and I fully recommend it. And they also tell of their difficulty in finding this place, because it's just out there in the middle of nowhere. And also in Graham Hancock's book, he visits Karahan Tepe and tells how just a desolate area it is, with really no documentation. And he writes about it for a few pages, but he sums it up very well this way. And I fully recommend Magicians of the Gods to anybody who's interested in ancient and lost history. Hancock says this: "It's incomprehensible to me that a place as important as Karahan Tepe, with so much to teach us, could be ignored and so disregarded. I have often said, as I did at the end of the last chapter, that we are a species with amnesia. I attribute our great forgetfulness of our own past, the blank pages in our memory, to the terrible cataclysms the Earth passed through at the end of the last ice age. But here at Karahan Tepe, I'm reminded that our own collective stupor is also often willfully self-inflicted, as though we no longer care to know where we come from or who we really are." And I think that sums it up very well. This place is called Karahan Tepe. I will leave the coordinates in the description if you want to check this out. There are some undocumented ruins also in this area. This is southern Turkey. Hope you thought this was interesting, and you all have a nice day.